Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharva Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Hari Juki Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Juki Jai Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupar Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupar Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupar Rashata Rashata Shmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Nityal Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityal Pavishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai Nityal Pavishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Nityal Pavishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai Shri Rupa Nugagoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Swarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shiksheta Mandala Gora Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Avishta Vedanta Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. And maybe for those of you in the West, it's Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada Tirobhav Titi Ki Jai Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, and also, what is it, Goridas Pandit Ki Jai, and Govindadas Ki Jai, Todiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi Ki Jai, Rupa Gosvāmī Viraha Mahotsav Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Gosvāmī Par Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, everybody. Yeah, I started 10 minutes late because in between programs, I thought, oh, I have 10 minutes. I'm going to take a 10-minute nap. But it turned into a 20-minute nap. But hopefully that means I won't be falling asleep as much. So, hi. Haribo, Kishore Prabhu. Let's see. And Indira Mataji. And there's 3 other people. Dandavat pranams to all of you. Is the connection okay? I guess. Alright, so maybe let's sing Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, and then we'll begin. One second, just sharing my... Okay. Here. So Shri Rupa Manjari Pada by Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur. Okay, Kishore. No worries. Let me know when you're back, Kishore, though. The lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari are my treasure. They are the sole object of my bhajan and worship. Her lotus feet are the wealth of my life. They are the ornament of my life, and, indeed, the very life of my life. Her lotus feet are the treasure house of Ras, the attainment of my desires, and the conclusion of all the Vedas. Her lotus feet are the goal of my vows and austerities, the object of my recitation of mantra, and the purpose of all my religious activities. When providence becomes favorable, I shall attain Śrīla Rūpa Manjari's lotus feet and behold them with these two eyes. The abundant sweet beauty of Śrīla Rūpa Manjari's lotus feet will shine like the moon upon the blue lotus of my heart, causing it to blossom in jubilation both day and night. Your absence from my vision is like a snake that has corroded my body with poison. The remaining days of my life will pass in the burning fire of separation. Alas, O Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, be merciful and give me the shade of your lotus feet. There, Narottam is taking shelter. Hare Krishna, Shubhananda Prabhu. Let's see if anybody else came. Okay, it's okay? Good. Śrīla Rūpa Manjari Para Ashe Mor Sampara Śrīla Rūpa Manjari Para Ashe Mor Sampara She Mor Bhajana Pujan She Mor Bhajana Pujana She Mor Pranadhana She Mor Abharana She Mor Pradana She Mor Abharana She Mor Jivanerji She Mor Jivaner Jivana She Mor Jivaner Jivan She Mor Rasanidhi She Mor Vancha Siddhi She Mor Rasanidhi She Mor Vancha Siddhi She Mor Veder Dhara She Mor Veder Dhara She Vrata She Tapa She Mor Mantra Japa She Vrata She Tapa She Mor Mantra Japa She Mor ধরম করম সে মোর ধরম করম সে মোর ধরম করম অনুকূল হবে বিধি সে পরে হইবে সিদ্ধি অনুকূল হবে বিধি সে পদে হইবে সিদ্ধি আনি রাখিব এ দুই না ইয়ানে নিরাখিব এ দুই না ইয়ানে সে রূপ মাধুরী রাশি প্রাণ কুব লয় শশী সে রূপ মাধুরী রাশি প্রাণ কুব লয় শশী প্রফুল্লিত হবে নিশি দিনে প্রফুল্লিত হবে নিশি দিনে প্রফুল্লিত হবে নিশি দিনে প্রফুল্লিত হবে নিশি দিনে তুয়ায় দর্শনায়াহি গরলে জারল দেহি তুয়া দর্শনায়াহি গরলে জারল দেহি চির দিন তাপিত জীবন চির দিন তাপিত জীবন আহা প্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া অনারতম লো শরণ নারোত্তম লইল শরণ হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া নারোত্তম লইল শরণ নারোত্তম লইল শরণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Jaya Rupa Gosvāmī, Prabhu Rupa Gosvāmī, Rupa Gosvāmī, Prabhu Rupa Gosvāmī, Prabhu Rupa Gosvāmī, Prabhu Rupa Gosvāmī, Rupa Gosvāmī, Jaya Rupa Gosvāmī, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Nārāyaṇa Das Thakur ki Jai. One second. Alright, so now we'll do a little Mangalacharan and we'll begin our reading. One second. Just checking the comments. Okay. Oh, let's open up Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam. Sri Chaitanya. There. Okay. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Let's do Rupa Goswami's Mahaprabhu verse. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. We'll do this pranamantra. Devyad Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumada Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Prishtalabi Sevyamano Smarami. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Adadanastrinam Dantair Idam Yache Puna Puna Śrīmad Rūpa Padāmbhoja Dhulisyam Janma Janmani. Clasping a straw between my teeth, I repeatedly begged to attain the dust of the lotus feet of Śrīmad Rūpa Gosvāmī, birth after birth. Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakamaditaranga madhe kripa maitvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat Pranams, Champak Didi, and whoever else is watching on YouTube. Hare Krishna. And Kishore Prabhu, Hari Bol. So I'm sorry guys, I'm a bit slow today again because I'm still sick, and so I'm very spacey. Yesterday was so bad. Twice I recorded without turning on the mic, and yeah, I'm still in that kind of like really slow, kind of can't really use my brain. But I'm gonna just be reading, so it doesn't matter. I don't need my brain to read. And also Kishore, if you would like to, maybe after we read, would you like to make a little glorification of to Rupa Goswami? And if you want to say anything about Gauridas Pandit or Govinda, is it Govinda Das Kaviraj? I don't know. Anyways, or you could just speak on Rupa Goswami. It's up to you. There's zero pressure.
After the reading.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to continue our reading from the distinctive contribution of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. Let me just open it up. 1 second here. So yesterday we read the first 2 parts of the book, and now we're reading this is from the introduction to Shri Utkalika Valari by my Srila Gurudev, Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. The title is Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's Instructions on the Attainment of Krishna Bhakti Ras. Those who are suffering, desirous of wealth, inquisitive, and searching for knowledge can worship the Supreme Lord Bhagavan. 1 second. They can worship the Supreme Lord Bhagavan if they have sufficient spiritual merit, sukriti. But unless they achieve a state of consciousness that is thoroughly saturated with the pure mellows of loving devotion to Krishna, or Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati, they cannot attain the greed for the happiness that comes with serving Shri Krishna. Not even with the accrued sukriti or pious credits of hundreds of millions of lifetimes. Therefore, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhu has shown the method to attain that greed. How do we attain this Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati, the greed to attain Krishna Bhakti Ras? This is the process. Tanama Rupa Charitari Sukirtanano Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vrajetarανuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayera Kilamityupadesha Saram. Sri Upadeshamrita, verse 8. A devotee should remove his tongue and mind from all matters unrelated to Krishna, and, living in Vraj Mandal under the guidance of those persons who have deep, spontaneous love for him, engage his senses full time in remembering and glorifying Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. This is the essence of all advice. This verse makes it clear that for devotees who are greedy for Vraj Ras, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī has recommended living in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Residence in Vraj, in any manner at all, is extolled by the scriptures. However, as instructed both by Srimad Mahaprabhu himself and that personality who established Srimad Mahaprabhu's innermost desires, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, merely physically staying in Vraj is not enough to attain Vishuddha Bhakti Ras, the transcendently sweet relationships relished in spontaneous loving service to Krishna. No, staying in Vrindavan is not enough. Therefore, in the above-mentioned verse, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhu has also described the method for living in Vraj. Yeah, my body is physically here, but there's a method to living in Vraj. It doesn't just mean being in Vraj physically. One will not be able to attain Unata Ujjvala Rasamoy Prem Bhakti, pure love in the most excellent, exalted, radiant, conjugal mellow, that is practiced and preached by Rupa Gosvāmī. In other words, one will not be able to become a Rupa Nuga, a follower of Rupa Gosvāmī, even by following those who are dedicated to Vaidhi Bhakti. What to speak of followers of those who use What to speak of following those who use deceitful bhajan to camouflage sense enjoyments such as eating, sleeping, amusement, or acquisition, becoming an object of veneration and celebrity. The only way of attaining this most exalted prem bhakti is to accept the guidance of Rasik spiritual masters who follow those of Sri Vrajendranandan's associates who are a part of his intimate Vraj pastimes, and to constantly practice under these gurus. Therefore, mere physical presence in Vraj does not qualify one to be a true Vrajvasi. Rather, residence in Vraj is successful when one fully dedicates his mind and the sentiments of his heart to continuously remain under the guidance of the devotees who are absorbed in Vraj Ras. To establish this very principle, Srimad Mahaprabhu referred to Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami as a pure Vrajvasi, even though he never, even for a single moment, physically resided in Vraj. There is another topic to be remembered. In the beginning stage, the practitioner is engrossed in many unwanted habits and vices. Thus, it is not fit that such a neophyte engage in the practice of exclusively contemplating smaranam, engaging in smaranam of the pastimes of the Lord. By doing so on the pretext of doing solitary bhajan, he could simply foster lethargy. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is a preceptor, or the acharya of transcendental of aprakrit ras, who has taught by his personal example how to relish these divine mellows. He has established the method for performing spontaneous devotion, or rag bhajan. Transgressing this method and endeavoring to display so-called topmost devotion to Lord Hari is nothing but a wicked contrivance. Such an attempt is impertinent, unrestrained, offensive, and inauspicious, and will bring about the destruction of society. We must always remember the instruction of our worshipable Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He said, Kirtana prabhave smarana hoibe, shekale bhajan nirjana sambhav. One must engage in kirtan, loud glorification of the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. This kirtan will automatically cause one to remember Sri Krishna and his attributes. Such kirtan-induced remembrance make solitary bhajan possible. Therefore, sorry, I'm feeling nauseous again. Therefore, what is required is that sadhaks who wants to attain a particle of the bliss of service that is intrinsic to Unato Ujjvala Bhakti Ras, the most excellent radiant ras of conjugal love that Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī longs for, should become free from ulterior desire. They should be anyabhilashita shunya, free from ulterior desire, and endeavoring constantly with genuine kindness towards Krishna, Anukul Krishna Anushilan Mai. One should cultivate the most exalted devotion, Uttama Bhakti, in the company of affectionate, like-minded devotees. And then after that, I'm not going to read this, but there's a beautiful article by my Param Gurudev, Uttama Bhakti. He goes very deep into this verse, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma adyanavatam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti ruttama. And there's one quote from this that I really love. It's super heavy, but like very important. Let me just find it 1 second. Here. I'll read the previous section just so you get the context. If someone aspires to perform Krishnanushilanam, perpetual ardent endeavors meant exclusively for Sri Krishna, then he must first become anukul, genuinely kind to him, only wanting to do what's in Krishna's benefit, not worrying if he's happy or sad, not just thinking about his happiness, but wanting what is most beneficial for him. There's examples given of Mother Yashoda. It must be his sole ambition to please and satisfy Sri Krishna, and he must completely expel even the slightest trace of hostility, patikulata, from his heart. Even if someone's Krishnanushilanam temporarily seems to be entirely favorable for Sri Krishna, if it is not utterly devoid of any underlying adversity and any craving for personal gratification, then it is not bhakti. Oh, Shubhananda Prabhu, yes, I can put it on WhatsApp, this article, yes. Although his endeavors may momentarily please his worshipful Lord, if he harbors any personal selfish ulterior motives or any motivation besides pleasing the Lord, he will fail to procure the actual fruit of bhakti, namely, superlative love of God, prem. Instead, the results he obtains will simply correspond to his underlying motivations. Okay, so I just wanted to read that to give context to what we're going to read now. This is such an important quote. Pleasing Śrīla Gurudev gives me life. Many of the disciples of our Śrīla Gurudev, Jagadguru Paramaradhyatama Sri Śrīla Prabhupada, they gave their bodies, their minds, their words, and wealth to assist in fulfilling his heart's deepest ambitions. Although he was immensely pleased by their service, or anushilan, it is seen that some of them, even after serving him in this way for so many years, they're serving with their bodies, minds, words, and wealth to assist fulfilling his heart's deepest ambitions, and he was immensely pleased by their service. So even after all that, so for doing that for so many years, those very people were willing to abandon him, their own guru, their guru tyag, and that others have developed guru bhog, the propensity to exploit him, wanting to enjoy the property and the position that they got from guru, not wanting to serve him, but wanting to, they get all this nice position, all these facilities, all this, they become guru bhogis. That is, instead of striving to imbibe the ideal and character of our Sri Gurupad Padma, who was perpetually wrapped in bhajan, they have simply imitated his external activities and audaciously costumed themselves as gurus. not even the first stage of bhakti has manifested in their hearts. If we contemplate the cause for this, we find that as they served him, they failed to maintain the attitude, Śrīla Gurudev will be pleased by accepting my service, and pleasing him gives me life. That's something we should get tattooed on our arms so that we can always remember. Anytime we're doing any service, we should always have this mood. But Śrīla Gurudev will be pleased by accepting my service, and pleasing him gives me life. Since they served him with many other motives, not exclusively with the hope of pleasing him, they were cheated out of obtaining the principal fruit of serving a sadhu, and have instead attained whatever they secretly desired. If someone's purpose is genuine, then as bhakti appears in his heart, all its symptoms, which are mentioned in the scriptures, will manifest in him, and all hankerings and aspirations opposed to bhakti will gradually diminish. Isn't that such a powerful, sobering quote? Yeah, this article is amazing. So I'll send, I'll make a PDF of it and send it in the group. All right, so I'll just read one more little thing. This is just, actually, I hope you guys don't mind this. This is just something that I wrote. I think probably maybe some of you already read it, but this topic, because my Gurudev would emphasize this point so much, about how the meaning of Rupanuga. So I made a little post on my website, Vine of Devotion. Yeah, and I'm going to start up writing regularly for this again. So if you'd like to see the little things that I write, and also sometimes I post Rays of the Harmonist articles, and I make recordings for them, and I do other things also, announcements about different programs that we're doing. So yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, you see here there's a subscribe button. All right, so sorry for that shameless plug. Śrīla Gurudev's Rupanugatva and the meaning of Rupanuga. So tomorrow's Pavitra Ropana Kadashi marks the beginning of Shri Radha Govinda's 5-day Julan Yatra festival, celebrated throughout Vraj and the entire world by devotees of various sampradayas. Let's read this. I'm going to make the text bigger one second. Here. Okay, there. Now that's bigger. Okay, tomorrow's Pavitra Ropana Kadashi marks the beginning of Shri Radha Govinda's 5-day Julan festival, celebrated throughout Vraj and the entire world by devotees of various sampradayas. After that comes the day which, for us in our line, is probably the most significant occasion of the entire year, the commemoration of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's disappearance. Within our Rupanuga lineage, an individual's eminence is measured by their Rupanugatva, the degree to which they follow in the footsteps of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, and their fearless, authentic propagation of the Rupanuga conception. Śrīla Gurudev's Rupanugatva. The unique Rupanugatva of my Śrīla Gurudev Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja was evident to all who came into his presence. Yet, during this Julan season, a particular sense of pride would envelop Śrīla Gurudev's followers, as his Rupanugatva would resonate with exceptional brilliance. So it would radiate with exceptional brilliance. I have never heard of any other place or person across the globe that orchestrated such a ras-filled 3-day festival to commemorate and disseminate the glories of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, like the one arranged by my worshipable Gurudev at Sri Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math in Vrindavan each year. Word of this festival would spread far and wide. Advertisements for it were even broadcast on the local television stations. Yeah, there's a really Krishna Kurnivu and Anupam and some girls in Mathura, they did like a really is a really well done what you call it, advertisement. Yeah. Eminent scholars of Vraj, the local residents of Mathura and Vrindavan, brahmacharis and sannyasis from various Gaudiya mats, respected devotees from ISKCON, and followers of various sampradayas would all assemble for this occasion. People would travel from all corners of the globe to partake in the unique nectar imparted by Śrīla Gurudev and other esteemed Vaishnavas during this period. Even when his health was poor, he would sit for 3-hour stretches, enduring considerable discomfort to instill the concepts of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī and to kindle within every heart the fervent, I think I prefer the word aspiration. I'm going to change that. The fervent aspiration to tread the path of the Rupanugas. What is Rupanuga? Something Śrīla Gurudev used to emphasize over and over was the meaning of the term Rupanuga. People commonly believe that anyone who follows the moods of any of the residents of Vraj, as delineated in Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's Śrī Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and also Ujjvala Nilamani, that qualifies as being a Rupanuga. In this view, the distinction between Rupanuga and Raganuga becomes somewhat blurred. Śrīla Gurudev, however, taught us that in the deepest and truest sense, a Rupanuga is one who wholeheartedly follows Śrī Rūpa in the external world as Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī and internally as Śrī Rūpa Manjari. The teachings and supplications of our Guru Varga unanimously underscore this alone to be the ultimate aspiration, like we just sang in that Śrī Rūpa Manjari Pada. In conclusion, I'm sharing an excerpt on this topic from a small booklet that Śrīla Gurudev wrote on the occasion of the divine departure of Śrīla Bhakti Jivan Janardana Gosvāmī Mahārāja, an esteemed disciple of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Yeah, I think it was published sometime in the early 90s. Raganuga and Rupanuga. One day, he, Śrīla Bhakti Jivan Janardana Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he very affectionately said to me, this is my Gurudev speaking, he very affectionately said to me, tell me, what is Śrī Raganuga and Śrī Rupanuga? Are they the same, or does each contain a speciality? I have asked many Vaishnavas, but I was not fully satisfied by their answers. When I heard this question, at first I felt somewhat hesitant to give an answer before someone so well versed in Siddhanta. However, at his repeated insistence, and upon Pujapad Vaman Maharaja's indication, I, like a student under examination, said, According to what I have heard from Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, and from what I have understood from continuous study of Bhakti Shastras, my firm conviction is that if those who develop a greed to attain the beauty of the services and moods of the eternally perfect associates in Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhuras, as described in the Rasa Shastras Śrī Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjvala Nilamani, and perform sadhan bhajan following the eternally perfect moods, the nitya siddha bhav of one of those associates, out of longing to attain the beauty of those services and moods, they are called Raganuga sadhaks. However, those who have developed a greed to follow in the footsteps of Śrī Rūpa Gosvāmī, his innate form, his swarup, engaged in serving Radha and Krishna, and accordingly, his eternally perfect and meticulous skill in performing Yugal Seva, his greater affection for Sri Radha, his Sri Radha Snehadika Bhav, as well as his other moods, and out of an ardent longing to attain the above stated moods, that person performs sadhan bhajan accordingly, they alone are Rupanuga sadhaks. As an associate of Sri Gaur, Sri Rūpa Gosvāmī has performed sadhan bhajan in his form as a sadhak, and in his pure spiritual form, his Shuddha Sharir, as Rupa Manjari, he he serves Sri Radhika in partiality to her. Only those who follow Sri Rupa in this way, in both of these moods, are Rupanuga. There is a special consideration in this regard. Every Rupanuga is a Raganuga, but not every Raganuga is a Rupanuga. Hearing this, Pujapad Maharaj became overwhelmed with emotion and said, "Today I have become extremely delighted to hear your deliberation on this. It is what I wanted to hear. Prior to this, no one has so clearly presented to me such a fully perfect and conclusive discernment on this topic." This is translated by Rays of the Harmonist team from a booklet entitled Viraha Smarak Prakashan by my Srila Gurudev. And there's two parts to this article. It's a pretty long article, but it's really beautiful. So if you'd like to get the link to it, you can just go to vineofdevotion.com and you'll find it here at the bottom. Link to the original article. Yeah, 2 parts. It's really nice. All right, so that's all. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. So I'm going to now hand it over to Kishore Prabhu. Would you be able to share your screen this time? I mean your camera?
I guess. You don't want to read from Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj today?
Oh, Bhakti Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Yeah, sure. Yeah, one thing I already did, I think I showed last time. I read, let's see, YouTube, where is it? Yeah, so if you go to, oh, actually it's on the Vine of Devotion YouTube channel. So if you go youtube.com /@ Vine of Devotion, that's my channel where I make like nicer videos, and I read that part from Srila Bhakti Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja on Rupa Goswami. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. It's one of the earlier videos that I made. Pastimes of Srila Rupa Goswami up to Rupa Shiksha. So you can listen to that there if you like. And then I also read from the second verse of Madhurya Kadambini. My Gurudev gives a very beautiful, nice glorification of Rupa Goswami, a very unique one. And that's also here. You just look for this picture of Rupa Goswami on Vine of Devotion channel. So yeah, you can listen to those both there. But one thing is that it's Gauridas Pandit's disappearance day also. And so maybe we can read from Bhakti Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja on that. And then I'll hand it over to Kishore. So I'm just opening it up. Give me a second here. Let me just look at the comments. Oh wait, no, first let me find this. Gauridas Pandit, where is it? Kishore, is it still Rupa Goswami's disappearance day there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And also the disappearance day of Gauridas Pandit and Govindadas. How long is this? Okay. How do I close this table of contents? God, I don't even know. Oops. My camera was blocking the thing. Okay. Shri Gauridas Pandit. Subaloya Priya Shrestha Sa Gauridas Pandita. In Vraj, Gauridas Pandit is Subal, one of the 12 Gopals. He is one of Nityananda Prabhu's dearest associates. This is from Gaur Ganodesh Dipika 128. Oh, one interesting thing. You know Shrivas from Canada? Just the other day, he just sent Gaur Ganodesh Dipika all translated. And he's like, he loves to surprise, like that's one of his favorite things to do, is just to surprise you. And so he sent it to me and Baijanti Mala. He's like, here's the full Gaura-Ganodesha Dipika for whenever you want to publish that. And so that's probably going to be my next project that I'm going to start on as soon as I arrive in Navadvip. And we'll try to get it out. We'll try to have everything ready, all the text ready in 3 months, but then there's everything else that needs to be done, like the printing and all that. So we'll try to have it ready by, I don't know. Anyways, but that book will be coming soon. Gurudev's edition of Gaura-Ganodesha Dipika. All right. Gauridas Pandit was most fortunate. His body, mind, and soul were all devoted to Nityananda Prabhu. That's from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanda, chapter 5, verse 730. Wow, 730 verses in one chapter. Okay, Gauridas's temple in Ambika. Gauridas's first residence was in the village known as Shaligram, not far from Muragacha. Later, he moved to Ambika Kalna in the Burdwan district for long-time residence. There, his Shripat is extremely well known. His father's name was Kangsari Mishra. Kangsari Mishra belonged to the Vatsa Gotra, and their family name was Goshala. Gauridas was the fourth of 6 sons. His 3 older brothers were named Damodar, Jagannath, and Suryadas. Suryadas, whose title was Sarakela, gave his 2 daughters, Vasudha and Janava, in marriage to Nityananda Prabhu. Gauridas Pandit's younger brothers were named Krishnadas, Sarakela, and Nrsinga Chaitanya. So Gauridas Pandit is the uncle-in-law of Nityananda Prabhu. Pandit Suryadas Sarakela was a very magnanimous person. His younger brother was named Gauridas. This is a quote from Bhakti Ratnakar. So Suryadas Sarakela's younger brother was named Gauridas. Gauridas Pandit took permission from his older brother before moving from Shaligram to Ambika. It's Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 7, verse 330 to 331. Gauridas and his disciple Hridaya Chaitanya left only a line of initiated disciples, and not one of family descent. Right? Yeah, he didn't leave any family lineage, only a line of disciples. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidhan, Gauridas Pandit and his wife Bimala Devi had 2 sons, Balaram and Raghunath. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, however, did not accept this family connection due to the lack of authenticity. He has written as follows in his Anubhashya. He said, Gauridas Pandit's disciple was named Hridaya Chaitanya Das. His disciple was the son of Annapurna Devi, Gopi Ramana. It is the family descendants of this Gopi Ramana who are the current owners of the Ambika Shripat. That's in his Anubhashya to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Kanda, chapter 11, verse 26. The current temple at Ambika houses the deities of Gauridas, Radha Krishna, Gaur Nityananda, Jagannath, Balaram, and Sitaram. We're on the 11th chapter. We're going to be reading that soon. As one enters the temple grounds, there is a large tamarind tree. It is said that Mahaprabhu and Gauridas met under this very tree. Other valuable items held in the temple are a paddle said to be used by Mahaprabhu himself and a Bhagavad Gita said to be hand-copied by the Lord. Gaurachandra, the Lord of Lords, resides in the temple of Gauridas in Ambika. Towards the north of Ambika is a place called Kalna. Together, they have become Ambika Kalna. Now, this is a quote from Bhakti Ratnakar. One day, Gauranga crossed the Ganges from Shantipur to visit Ambika. He told Gauridas Pandit, I was in Shantipur, and from there, I went to Hari Nadi village and took a boat to come here. I have brought one of the paddles with me. Here, take it. Use it to take the fallen living beings across the river of material suffering. So saying, the Lord embraced him. Bhakti Ratnakara 7, verse 333 to 336. Fortunate souls and then also from Bhakti Ratnakara, verse 341. Fortunate souls can still see the Gita that the Lord gave to Gauridas, as well as the paddle, when they visit the deities in Ambika. Nityananda Prabhu made no distinctions between those who were qualified or unqualified, but simply gave Krishna Prem to everyone as though he was intoxicated. I mean, he was intoxicated, yes. His intimate associate, Gauridas Pandit, similarly displayed a great power in preaching. Gauridas possessed, and this is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 11, verses 26 to 27. Gauridas possessed the highest order of loving devotion. He had a great ability to deliver and receive Krishna Prem. He surrendered everything he had, including his own clan, to Nityananda Prabhu, and made Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu the masters of his life and soul. That was from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Suryadas Sarkela's house and temple are also in Ambika, a little to the west of Gauridas Pandit's Shripat. Bhagavan Das Babaji's ashram is also a little farther west of there. Oh yeah, I've been to that place also. Just looking at Kishore. Narihari Prabhu said that we were there. The pujari is very friendly, and he showed us the paddle and palm leaves of Gita by the Lord. Yeah, I've noticed that also, that the pujari there is really very friendly. A wonderful story is told about Gauridas Pandit and Ambika Kalna. It is said that on the day that Mahaprabhu paddled across the Ganga to come to visit Gauridas, he sat under the tamarind tree in the courtyard. Gauridas asked for Mahaprabhu to stay permanently with him in Ambika. In order to fill his devotee's desire, Mahaprabhu manifested his and Nityananda Prabhu's deities from a nearby neem tree. It is also said that Nityananda Prabhu was physically present when the deities were being carved. When Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu were about to leave, Gauridas, in deep mental anguish, held them back. Mahaprabhu calmed him by saying, "Nityananda Prabhu and I are present here in person as well as in these deity forms. You can either tell the deities to go or we can leave. You choose." Gauridas chose the Gaur Nitai in person to stay and said that the deities could leave. So the deities walked away and Gaur Nitai entered the temple room. Nama Vigraha Sarup Tina Ekarup Tine Bhed Nahi Tina Chidananda Rup. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita from Madhya Lila 17, verse 131. Means, these three, the name, the deity form, and the original form of the Lord, are all one. No distinction should be made between them, for all three are of transcendental spiritual nature. Subsequently, conquered by Gauridas's love for them, the deities would physically eat everything that he offered to them. Gauridas Pandit Gosvāmī disappeared in the month of Shravan on the Shukla Dwadashi, the 12th day of the waxing moon. His samadhi is in Vrindavan. So that is today for you guys in the West. For us, it was yesterday. When this is a quote from Bhakti Ratnakar. When Janava Devi saw Gauridas Pandit's samadhi, torrents of tears fell from her eyes, and she could do nothing to stop them. Oh yeah, that's her uncle. That's from Bhakti Ratnakar, chapter 11, verse 259. Let's have a little darshan of the Gaur Nityananda deities in Ambika Kalna. Gaur Nitai Ambika Kalna. Yeah, and when you go there, the darshan is very quick because they don't. In that story, the deities walked off the altar, right? And then Gaura Nityananda stood there. And I think what I remember hearing is that, and then Gauridas tried to stop the deities from leaving, and then Gaura Nityananda walked off the altar, and this kept on happening, and then he got confused who was who, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm remembering wrongly, though. And then, yeah, that's how. Actually, maybe that wasn't authentic. Don't quote me on that. But here are the deities of Gaura Nitai. Nityananda was personally there during the carving, and that was given by Mahaprabhu himself. That's not such a clear picture. Let's find a more clear picture. That's also not so clear. Yeah, let's look at this. Or maybe it's my internet. Yeah, here. Jai Gaura Nitai ki jai. They're really tall. I guess Gaura Nitai were very tall also. Here's another picture. Jai Gaura Nitai. And here's another picture. All right. So that's our reading for now. And I'll now hand it over to Kishore Prabhu. Okay, Kishore, are you ready?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I can do a little Mangal Sharan before, right?
Yes. And would you be able to show your video? Perfect. Okay.
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karati Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yakripatamaham Bhande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Preswabho Jagannath Guru Samsarvanina Takamam Kaladashtam Chatamaham Sharanam Kata Namo Vishnu Padaya Shri Rupa Krishnaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Tinamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Shri Rūpa Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Sriman Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnyavadi Pashtakirishtarine Nityananda Priyam Prema Bhakti Ratna Pradhayanim Shri Janava Ishwarim Bhande Tapatrayani Varanim Sankarshan Karanatoyashim Harbodhi Chavadeshe Sheshashayasham Shakalasa Nityananda Kirama Sharanam Mamas Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Ghoritvishe Nama Gauranga Balite Have Pulaka Sharir Huri Huri Bhulite Na Yane Bhavinir Or Kobe Nitai Chadar Karuna Hoive Samsara Vasana Mora Kabe Tutsha Have Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Haviman Kabe Hamahiravo Shri Vrindavan Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoive Akuti Kabe Hame Bujavo Se Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Marash Pratana Korave Sada Naro Tamadas Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yen Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karami Tadidi Swapatandikam Sadhaner Jevana Yassa Drishto Bhavataya Kramaha Raghunath Mahamande Das Goswaminam Prabhum Vajo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Grarha Shiva Sri Gaur Vrinda Jai Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Gopal Bhattara Raghunath Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Swallow from my soul based on system of the literacy of my most spirit divine master. Divine grace, Jagar Guru Śrīla Bhakti Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Hare Pavan Śrīla Gurudev. Offer my soul based on system of the literacy of my most spirit divine master. His divine grace, Jagar Guru Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Non-to-literacy of His divine grace, Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who resided at the Radha Damodar Mandir and would daily and pray intensely at the feet of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī and Śrīla Jivas. Offer my pranams at their feet and their prayers. I'm a bit hesitant to speak because I don't know much about Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada, but I think it's good that I begin speaking on Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. So as Madhukar Prabhu was mentioning earlier, all the gurus in our line are following Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. And
Kishore, sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but just wanted to let you know, I
Right.
have to be downstairs to be there for the kirtan at 8:45, and it's 8:15 right now, or 8:17 actually. So you have 25 minutes to speak, and if you want to go on longer, that's totally fine. I can just make you the host of this, and then you can have as much.
I'll be done before 25 minutes.
You sure? Okay, cool. So sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to.
No. I know you need to go. So, as Prabhu was mentioning earlier, all the gurus in our line are the associates and the followers of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada, and we measure. I don't want to use this word measure or agree, but the more one follow Rupa Goswamis, we can say that more advanced. I don't know if that is the proper word. Anyhow, you can see that all the Vaishnavas in our line are following Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. I'll give some examples. Śrīla Prabhupada I mentioned already. For one Vaishnava, his name is Śrīla Hridayananda Das Babaji Maharaj. He would hear Śrīla Prabhupada in the morning. He would say that he would be sleeping, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning, he would hear loud crying, and Babaji Maharaj would wake up, and he became astonished. What is that? Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? What is that sound? And he would hear one Baba chanting, Haru Hasanantan, Haru Hasanantan. And he came out and he would see Śrīla Prabhupada was sweeping the Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir. Śrīla Prabhupada would be sweeping out there, and he would see how Prabhupada would be weeping. Prabhupada would be weeping as he was sweeping, and he would be crying Haru Hasanantam. And for a long time, Śrīla Prabhupada stayed there in Radha Damodar Mandir, praying at the feet of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, Krishnadas Kaviraj Gosvāmī, Jiva Gosvāmī, and His Divine Grace Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur has Pushpa Samadhi there. So Prabhupada would often go to the Pushpa Samadhi, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, and pray at the feet of his Guru Maharaj, and he would pray at the feet of Shishi Radha Damodar, the deities of Prabhupada Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī, who was the dear Shiksha and Diksha and disciple of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. There is no fault whatever in the writings of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. I know this has been explained already. There's been Zoom classes for like 3 consecutive days already. But I'm speaking a little bit for my own purification. I'm smiling because I'm completely in Maya, but we'll continue. There's no fault in the writings of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. Today I was reading an article by Śrīla Guru Maharaj that he spoke there. Gurudev invited him to speak on Rūpa Goswami's Tirubhav. And Guru Maharaj was saying that everything that Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī spoke It is coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Can you just explain when you say Guru Maharaj who you're referring to? Because not everybody knows. Yeah.
So when I say Guru Maharaj, I refer to Shri Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj because he is my Diksha Gurudev. And when I say Śrīla Gurudev, I refer to Shishman Bhakti Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja because he is my Harinam Gurudev. Harinam Guru Śrīla Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Diksha Guru Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati. So Gurudev Śrīla Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Guru Maharaj Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Vishnu. So Guru Maharaj was saying that everything that Rupa Goswami has said, it's coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Guru Maharaj gives the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he's in front of Jagannath Bhagavan's Rath Yatra cart. And he was reciting a mundane love poem about some hero and heroine. And all the people there, they were astonished. What is this sannyasi doing? Reciting a mundane love poem. Nobody understood. Even many of the close associates of Mahaprabhu, none of them understood, except Swarup Damodar, Lalita Saki. Swarup Damodar Goswami understood. But Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada was there. Śrīla Gurudev would refer to him as the young Rūpa Goswami. The young Rūpa Goswami was there. And hearing Mahaprabhu, he composed one shlok. I don't have that shlok right now, but in the original shlok that Mahaprabhu was chanting, he was saying that there is one lady there, and she is remembering her time in her youth, before her and her husband were married. And she's saying that, oh, this is so nice, the forest is so nice, but my mind still wants to go back to that time when we were young. Mahaprabhu was saying this to Sri Jagannath Bhagavan. And when the young Rupa Goswami heard this, he wrote another shlok. And in that, he is describing Radharani's meeting with Sri Krishna on Kurukshetra. There Sri Krishna was in his royal dress, Dwarkadish, Madhuradesh, and all the other gopis were there, all the Brajavasis, Nanda Baba Yashodamaya. And the Radharani was seeing Krishna. And the Radharani, when he said this, that I am that very same Radha, and you are that very same Krishna, but my mind is not happy here. I want to go back to Vrindavan, by the river Yamuna, in that forest of Vrindavan. Nobody understood this. Mahaprabhu said, oh, I want to be with my husband again. I want to be at that place again on the river Reva. Mahaprabhu was saying this. Nobody understood. Swarup Damodar understood, but other than that, nobody. Rupa Goswami understood, and he composed that shlok. And he was staying there with Srila Haridas Thakur in Sirabakul. And one day Mahaprabhu was coming, because Mahaprabhu, he would daily come to see Srila Haridas Thakur. Such a great acharya was Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya. Every day, chanting 192 rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Mahaprabhu came to see Haridas Thakur, and there on the roof, he found one palm leaf, and he read that verse that Rupa Goswami had composed. And when he saw it, he immediately smiled and became very happy. And he slapped the back of Rupa Goswami, saying, how did you understand my heart? And Mahaprabhu, he went to Swarup Damodar and asked him, how is it that Rupa just took everything from my heart and wrote it down? And Swarup Damodar Goswami said, Mahaprabhu, the only way that someone can do that is if you give them your mercy. Mahaprabhu said, yes, I did give my mercy to Rupa. Dashameda got. So there is no fault. And so I was saying that there is no fault. The writings of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, everything is coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once Srimad Vallabhacharya, the founder of Pushti Marg, Sri Vallabhacharya, he came. And Rupa Goswami was heading. one scripture. And Rupa Goswami immediately saw Vallabhacharya and offered his respects. And Vallabhacharya saw him like, oh, this is very nice, but something here is not correct. And Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī said, oh, Vallabhacharya ji, please, if there is anything that is incorrect, any mistake, please you correct it. It will be to my own benefit. And Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī was there. And Jiva Goswami did not at all appreciate that comment by Vallabhacharya. So Vallabhacharya told Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, yes, I will surely correct it, but first let me go to the Yamuna. First, let me go to the Yamuna, I will take bath, and then I will come back. And Rupa Goswami said, okay. And Jiva Goswami, he also told Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, okay, Prabhupada, Gurudev, I will go. I'm also going to take bath right now. And Rupa Goswami Prabhupada said, yes, no problem. So Jiva Goswami, he left there. And on the way into the Yamuna, he met with Vallabhacharya. And he asked Vallabhacharya, what is the fault in my Gurudev's writings? You, please tell me. Jiva Goswami, challenging. Yes. Challenging, because he was challenging in the writings of his Gurudev. Therefore, Jiva Goswami challenged Vallabhacharya. And Srimad Vallabhacharya said, oh, well, there was this and this correct. This and this could be better. And Jiva Goswami says, you do not understand the writings of my Gurudev. And Jiva Goswami, he started explaining everything that Rupa Goswami has said and written. And after hearing all these conclusions and all these things, Vallabhacharya became amazed. He was like, wow, I could not understand Rupa Goswami. And he came back to see Rupa Goswami, and Vallabhacharya said, oh, very intelligent, your disciple. I had some doubts about this, but now he has clarified. Everything is perfect here. Vallabhacharya is Vaishnava. When he was explaining all these things, then he became humble. And he told Rupa Goswami, yes, everything is perfect. Rupa Goswami was not happy. Rupa Goswami was not happy with Jiva Goswami. Like, what are you doing? Vallabhacharya is senior. He's so much senior to me. Had he corrected it, it would have been to my benefit. You get out of here. And Jiva Goswami left, crying, and he remained in one place, simply chanting the name of his Gurudevs, of his Gurudev and Param Gurudev, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, because he was very guilty and very ashamed. Oh, I upset my Gurudev, Rupa Goswami. And so he went there chanting Haru, Asanantam, Haru, Asanantam, Haru, Asanantam. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said, and Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahārāja has also said, that just by chanting the name of the 6 Goswamis, all obstacles are removed. Shri Rupa Shri Sanatan Bhattarugunath, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath. Echai Gosar Kori Charana Mandan Yohit Vikanash Vishtapuran. You can find in that Kirtan Hariharaya Naman Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. All obstacles are immediately removed by chanting the name of the 6 Goswamis. Prabhupada in one purport in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he has said, so we will take shelter, so for preaching, we will take shelter of the 6 Goswamis. Because the 6 Goswamis, they had to deal with many people who are like dogs and hogs. Similarly, in our preaching, we will have to deal with people who are also like hogs and dogs. So by taking shelter of the 6 Goswamis, all our obstacles shall be removed. So there, Jiva Goswami was chanting Haru, Hasanantam. And Srila Sanatana Goswami came and he saw this. And he went back to Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. And he told Rupa, what are you doing? He is your disciple. It is your job to give him mercy. You must give mercy to the conditioned entities. And then Rupa Goswami's heart melted and he called back Jiva. I was mentioning earlier of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī and Haridas Thakur. Such a great acharya was Haridas Thakur, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all day, all night. So much preaching he has done on the holy name. Thakur Bhakti Vinod has written one book, Shri Harinam Chintamani, which is one conversation of Srila Haridas Thakur and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like in Shri Ramananda Roy Samvad, it was not Mahaprabhu was asking questions, and Hari Ramananda was answering. Similarly, Haridas Thakur and Harinam Chintamani, Mahaprabhu is asking, and Haridas Thakur is answering. Haridas Thakur is so exalted, day and night chanting Harinam. But Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada, we have heard from our Gurudev and other acharyas that when Rupa Gosvāmī would try to chant Maha Mantra, he would begin by saying Ha, Hare, Hare, and then fall unconscious. But not. He'd immediately get a vision of Radha and Krishna and fall unconscious. Of course, he did chant Harinam. Of course, he did his Nam Japa. But very often this would happen. He would go into meditation on Radha and Krishna by chanting Harinam. And I forget the name.
That was a question that Gurudev used to ask the devotees, I think, like at one time, and like when like in the early 90s when ISKCON devotees were coming to him a lot, he'd ask them that question a lot. Who is superior? Who's chanting, like, who's superior, Haridas Thakur or Rupa Goswami? Like who's more of a superior in chanting Harinam? And I think generally people would say Haridas Thakur, he chants 3 lakhs a day, he's Namacharya. And then Gurudev would give that explanation that you just mentioned, right? I think, yeah.
How much more time do I have? You put yourself.
I muted myself. Sorry. You have another 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 more
but
minutes.
you have as much time as you want, also, because I could just make you the host and you can continue on. So yeah. Okay.
Okay. 10 more minutes. Yes, Rupa Gosvāmī Prabhupada become immersed in Radha and Krishna Nam. In fact, he has written something from Srimati Radhika. Srimati Radhika once, Lalita Sakya. My Guru Maharaj would speak on this during Gurpurnima and other times on Lalita Sakya and Radhastami. Once Radharani was in Man, and Lalita Sakhi came and said, "Why don't you just forget Krishna?" And Radharani said, "I cannot forget Krishna. As soon as I chant the name of Krishna, the name enters my ears and dances in my heart. All my senses become inert. And when I chant the holy name of Krishna, I then desire many mouths to chant the name of Krishna. And when I desire many ears to hear the name of Krishna. Indeed, I do not know how much nectar is in the name, or in these 2 syllables, Krish and Na." And when Srimati Radhika said that verse, Srimati Radhika has spoken and composed. And there, and Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī in his 2 books on Radha and Krishna Leela, forget their names, Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava. Rupa Gosvāmī, in one of those books, he has written that shlok. My Guru Maharaj would go further, early speaking this Leela, and saying that when the Radharani chanted the name of Krishna, she lost consciousness. And when Shri Krishna saw that, he then began thinking, what is the glory of Radha's love? What is the glory of the Lord? What is the glory of my holy name? What is this name and sweetness that Srimati Radhika is relishing by chanting my name? And that is one reason why Shri Krishna came as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was speaking earlier.
Sorry about that.
Okay? You okay?
Yeah. I just got a call from Manjari Mataji, so then I just had to take that. But I'm
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right, so I will only mention a couple more things. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. What more to say? Shri Kavi Karnapur tried I had to explain, and what is the glory of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī? Priya Swarupe, Dhaita Swarupe. Okay. He started saying that he is so dear to Swarup Damodar. He is the exact replica of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Priya Swarupe, Dhaita Swarupe, Prema Swarupe. He knows the glories of Prem. So many things. He is so beautiful. So many things. And then at the end, Kavi Karnapur said, I cannot write anything else there are so many glories to Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. Rūpa Gosvāmī, I was mentioning earlier about Vallabhacharya, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. He's like Rasa Acharya. He's the Abhideya Acharya. Sambanna Acharya Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī is explaining everything. Brihad Bhagavatamrita, explaining in the different grades of bhakti and then going ultimately towards the gopis. Śrīla Raghunathas Gosvāmī, explaining everything about regarding Prem Prayojan. So many scriptures, Vilap Kusum Manjali, talking about Radha and Krishna and the Kunjas of Braj, Utkalavali. So many things Śrīla Raghunathas Gosvāmī has composed. Dankeli Chintamani, so many things. And who is the Abhideya Acharya? The Abhideya Acharya Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. Mahaprabhu has made him Abhideya Acharya. He is explaining the entire process. And his Ishtadev is Shri Radha Govinda. Radha Govinda are the presiding deities of Abhideya. Tattva. When there was one cow, and she was going in one place in particular, and then she would pass milk in that particular place in the ground. And Rupa Goswami was seeing this and like, what is this cow doing? Every day she is coming and she is passing milk in the ground. What is this? And so Rupa Goswami, he came, he dug that ground, and he found the beautiful deity of Shri Govinda. That was Sharanava, Krishna's grandson, originally installed in Braj. So I was saying that Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is so exalted, and yet he is saying, O Madhav, I am a mind of offenses. He said this in his famous song, Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande. 1 second. Bhakti Rudan Shati Yadi Api Madhava, Natvai Hami Mama Tila Matri, Parameshwara Tatad Apitavadiga Durkada Katana Vidatri. O Madhav, although I don't possess even a sesame seed of bhakti for you. O Madhav, although I don't possess even a sesame seed of bhakti for you, still you are the supreme controller. You make the impossible possible. Although Rupa Goswami is so knowledgeable, he is fully humble, fully following the instruction of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Fully following Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction of Kanapi Sinichena Tararapi Seshanana, being more humble than a blade of grass and being more tolerant than a tree. Once there was one function and everyone was talking about Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada. And Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj was there. He was the main speaker. And he came at the end. Everyone had already spoken about all the Rasic Shastras of Rupa Goswami, all these things we talked about, Lalita Madhava. And then came finally Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, who was the oldest out of all of them. The first thing he began speaking was Vacho Vegham Manasa Krodha Vegham Jiva Vegham Udaropasta Vegham Etan Vegan Yo Veshahita Dira Sarvam Apimam Pravittim Sa Shishyat. I will simply read the translation here. Then a wise and self-composed person can control the impetus to speak, the agitation of the mind, the onset of anger, the vehemence of the tongue, the urge of the belly, and the agitation of the genitals can instruct. Yes, this shlok is very important for all of us to follow. myself definitely included. And my time is out, so let me simply mention what Sri Srinivasacharya has said in his Shargoshamashtakam. Where is that? Yes. Sankhya Purvaka Nam Gananatapin Kalavasani Krito Nrita Vihar Kari Vijito Chatyanta Dino Chayo Radha Krishna Ganesh Smritir Madhurima Nandena Smohito Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuiko Shri Jiva Gopal. The 6 Goswamis, they would pass their time by daily chanting a fixed number of holy names, singing particular songs, and offering regulated obeisances to saints, deities, and the Lord's pastime places. Thus they fully conquer the urges of eating, sleeping, recreation, and so forth. Always considering themselves to be ultimately lowly and insignificant, they became enchanted in sweet rapture, remembering Shri Radha and Krishna's qualities. I worship Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, Sanātana Gosvāmī, Raghunath Bhatta Gosvāmī, Raghunathas Gosvāmī, Jiva Gosvāmī, Gopal. And I think that's where I should now conclude. All right. Every acharya in our line, as recited, had it Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishram Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dati Swabhati. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anshakali Vishta Kripa Sindhu Devasha. Didanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Yeah. I beg forgiveness for any mistakes I have done, and I'm sorry, Harry, if I've done any mistakes or any offenses. I think someone else should have spoken instead of me, and Sri Hari Prabhu should have spoken, definitely. So many Vaishnavas here.
Well, actually, Nri Hari Prabhu, if you would like to speak a little glorification tomorrow, also, if you'd like, you can. Yeah, I'm totally happy. But yeah, Kishore, that was a beautiful glorification. That was really nice.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, would you like to say something tomorrow? There's no pressure, but if you'd like to.
Okay, let me prepare. I got this. I'm swamped here, and I've been a little ill, but yes, it's my duty. Yeah.
Okay.
Always jump at the opportunity.
Okay. Yes, and also if anybody else here would like, if anybody would like to give a glorification of Rupa Goswami also, like Shubhananda Prabhu, Champak Didi, anybody, Yashoda Didi, anybody who's here, then it's good that everybody gets a chance to make some glorification. But yeah, I'm looking forward to your glorification tomorrow, Prabhu. That's wonderful. All right, so the Rupa Goswami conference starts in 2 minutes, and I'm supposed to be playing Mridanga for Ram Shraddha Prabhu. He's going to be singing Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, I think. So I'm going to just end the video now. Thank you so much for joining. And yes, that was a really lovely glorification by Kishore Prabhu. And yeah, see you all tomorrow for more glorifications of Rupa Goswami. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Okay, I'm ending now. Hari Bol. I'm just quickly looking at YouTube and Facebook. Where is it? Okay, great. All right, Hari Bol.